Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story from Dorking Wanderers with me, Daniel. It's season 16, episode 6, and today we're back for transfer deadline day in January as we've just about returned to form. We've also got to contend with a football match as well, and it is the Carabao Cup Semi Final second leg against Liverpool. We're just about behind, but it is all to play for. So this is going to be a season-defining episode. We talked about needing to win a trophy this year, qualify for the Europa League step up, and we can only do that by winning the Europa League 2 or by winning the Carabao Cup. We've got Oliver Petit away on international duty, Kieran Pollock suspended, but aside from that, we're in pretty strong shape. So let's just see what we can do. We'll talk about form, we'll talk about transfers, and there's so much for us to get through today. So as always, if you are looking forward to this episode, please do put a thumbs up on it. Make sure you subscribe down below for daily FM20 content. You can catch up with this season so far in the eye above, as well as the new story with Macclesfield, yesterday's live stream, and much, much more. But this is all about Dorking Wanderers. So we're going to go and take part in transfer deadline day. That is first and foremost. And we're going to get our eye on a couple of defensive targets. We've talked about Mitchell Baker. We've found an alternative we might like as well. That man, Aaron Freshwater. So we're going to try and put in some optimistic bids, and hopefully, with just 30 million remaining on our transfer budget, we can negotiate some sort of deal. So we'll be back in a moment as there's news throughout the day, and then we'll have a look at our form and head into the semi-final near the end of it. We've made 2 offers. One of them is an emergency to start the day, and it is a centre-half. We tried to bid £75 million in total for Freshwater, 70 million for Baker, rising to 80. Both rejected heavily. So we are now down to the option of trying to find a backup. And even this man's not ideal. He's out for another month with an injury, coming back from a broken lower leg, but he's a decent player, probably one of the better ones we can get our hands on. And I feel like he's someone we've probably got to go for. So we're going to have a go at him, see how much he wants, and then see whether it's feasible to bring him in. We're going to try and get that wage bill down immediately, so down to 40 grand if we can. And we're just going to drop the other stuff slightly. So let's see if we can get those appearance fees and a substitution one in particular down, as that's where he's going to be spending most of his time, I'm afraid. It's just about trying to work the best possible negotiation for the club, and I think we're doing as well as we can here. If we can keep it at 40 for a while and then hopefully edge it up towards the end, we might be alright. But if not, and we miss out on him, then I think we just have to accept we're a centre-half down. We have got Sam Williams, the youngster, who can just about play there. And don't forget that youth intake, as I'm trying to negotiate still, did say that we had a good centre-half coming through. So with that in mind, we'll go up to 41,000. I'm not willing to go any higher. We'll keep edging the other stuff down, try and make it better for us. And it looks like we might have got there. So we'll try and see if that deal goes through. But what we've also done, as we couldn't get our centre-halves, is gone for NSYNC. He wants big money and he's £52 million, and the scouts still don't rate him that well. But he's one of Brighton's best players. Our number 10s are struggling, and this seems like an area where we can really weaken one of our rivals and strengthen our side. So I'm going to go all out to try and get NSYNC in. We're going to get him as a regular starter. We'll play him in his preferred role. But for now, this is all about being as strong as possible. So we're going to try and get it down to about 100, 110 grand a week. So let's start at 105. We'll leave the agent fee because that seems to make things a bit easier when negotiating. Little tip there in the middle of it all. But it seems like he wants big money, and that's going to make this very difficult. I don't know that we're going to be able to agree, because with the way the scouts rate him, can we really offer him massive money? I don't know that we can. So 115, we're still edging up. Don't really want to go beyond 120, if I'm being brutally honest. So we're going to offer 120 now. And he's accepted it. So it might be that Ari NSYNC is the big signing on deadline day. I know the scouts don't rate him brilliantly, but I do. I think he's a fantastic player, and I can't see why he's not rated better. So we're going to go for him, and we're going to hope it gets over the line, and then there may be 1 or 2 leaving the club at the same time. And here is the first man potentially leaving. 5 million up front, potentially rising to 9 million with a 50% profit sell-on for Chris Glover. Now here's the under 18 who kept complaining that he wasn't allowed to leave. He's got okay potential but not brilliant. He's not really breaking in, and he's not as good as the 3 that have broken in. So I'm not really as worried about letting him go. He's made 1 Europa League 2 appearance. He's done okay, but he's not going to set the world alight. So for 9 million quid, Job done, and that adds a bit to our budget. We're more than happy with that, and there'll probably be a few more to come today. West Ham have come in for our backup keeper, Ben Barrett, but I don't think we can let him go. I know he's third choice behind him and Petit, but with Petit on international duty and a big Europa League 2 campaign, I need to have 3 keepers. So I'm going to reject that one, and we'll let him go at the end of the year if he still wants to go. We'll let Chris Cover go. We're not unhappy about that, and it's the best outcome for everyone. However, both of these 2 signings have agreed to join the club. So we can now get those in and then look about moving on people. This is going to set fireworks on transfer deadline day. Here we go then. Arnal Murillo has joined the club. He is going to be a good player for us. He's still got a little injury trouble at the moment. He's still got to learn the language. But we'll get Gabriel Afonso to welcome him. We'll keep his recovery. And he has got that 3-star potential. So potentially a little bit more in terms of sell-on value. So we'll add him and NSYNC to the squad. We'll be meeting NSYNC in a moment. Needless to say, I think he's better than the coaches do. Here he is, 3-star ability, still got a little bit of potential, but they don't really rate him that highly, which I don't quite understand looking at his stats. Is it just me? Can someone tell me? Because I think he's brilliant. And I keep looking at his stats and wondering why he's not rated better, but all of the coaches and all of the scouts agree. So there must be a reason for it. But for me, I think he's going to revolutionise us, and I think we've taken a gamble at the right time. So those are the 2 coming in, but what it does mean is we'll have a few moving on. There's some already wanted, some we could potentially loan out. There'll probably be a couple of transfers coming as well. Although there's some that are rated less in terms of star ability, I've got to think about the homegrown quota for Europe as well. So there might be a few shocks coming today. But transfer deadline day has certainly been exciting, and there's more to come before our game this evening. So, we've made a decision to offer 3 players out. Those 3 players, Kieran McQueen, Ibai Nunes and Ilya Balic. Balic is going rather than Aaron White because Ilya Balic is not homegrown at the club. Aaron White is. That's crucial for Europe. As a backup, there's not much between them. Kieran McQueen signed at the start of the year as a backup midfielder. He'll now move on. And then Ibai Nunes is the oldest of the midfield players. So he's going to be the one that moves on there, and he's a backup too. So Kieran McQueen, let's have a look at those offers first because there's a few of them on the table. In fact, we'll just go through all of these to save a bit of time. And we'll let you know what the outcomes are. But you can see there's loads of offers for all 3. 345, it is all happening here at Dorking. Ibai Nunes, we accepted 3 offers, I think, for him. He has agreed to go to Aston Villa for £10.5 million. Ilya Balic, loads of offers that met our requirements for him. Southampton for £6.25 million. Both of those excellent deals. Balic, we signed for £1.5 million. That was in our first Premier League season in January. He's had a really good spell for us and he's going on for 4 times the amount. Ibai Nunes, I think we signed for slightly less, 9.5. So he played 3 full seasons, one as a backup last year and in a few games this year, as well as being key in the European group stages. And he now moves on for $1 million more at nearly 30 years of age. This is a brilliant bit of work from us. We're really happy with those 2 deals. And we've reached the Liverpool game with just the future of McQueen to play for. It looks like he's going for a big profit. We got him on a free in the summer, don't forget. But we've now got to contend with Liverpool in the Carabao Cup Semi Final. If we have a look at our results so you can see where everything stands, we continued our awful run in all competitions. It really wasn't good. And that includes a 1-0 defeat in the first leg at Anfield. We were outclassed and the fact it's only 1 is a minor miracle. But let's look at the other results quickly as well. We drew 1-1 at home to Southampton in the FA Cup. Ewan Davey got the early goal there. A 1-0 defeat at Tottenham in the Premier League despite dominating the match. And a 4-2 victory after extra time in the replay of the Cup. Semedo and Morale with a goal apiece and Ewan Davey with a crucial extra time brace. Was 1-1 after 90 minutes ironically. That 1-0 defeat against Liverpool was repeated in the Premier League before back-to-back wins bringing us into this one. 3-0 against basement side Swansea in the Premier Division. Coppens, Stockich and Council getting the goals. Stockich an early January signing. He is the first one we're going to look at today and he is big news because he got his first goal for the club. And then a 3-2 win at home to Ipswich. Not really deserved to be honest. Lower league opposition and Ewan Davey had to save the day. A brace from him and a goal from Zach Council just about got us through. We've got Everton at home in the 5th round, so we can chase another competition still. But first and foremost, it is their Merseyside rivals we're looking at, and that is in a second leg of the Carabao Cup Semi. So let's go and get through that. It's a big game today. Unfortunately, Harry NSYNC is cup tied, but aside from that, we're looking pretty strong. So let's very quickly go and show you Stokic, the player who joined earlier in the month. He came in from Red Star for £4 million, sort of the new Ilya Balic, I guess I would put him as. He's a centre forward and left winger. A little bit better, a wonder kid with 3.5 star ability, 4.5 potential. Again, maybe not the best physically, but good natural fitness, mentally he's strong, and technically he's absolutely world class. So he is an advanced playmaker by trade, though we are using him as a winger at present. And I think he's going to become a superstar down the road. So I'm looking forward to working with him a bit longer. And with those signings made, this is our first choice 11 for today. And we've gone for a couple of big calls. After their form against Ipswich and the lack of form of their counterparts, Coppens is dropped, as is Ryan Lima. Council and Davey, the men coming in for them. We've got Stokic in on the left wing playing first choice now. So this is our 11 in full. We've got Gabriel Afonso in goal, Correa in for the suspended Pollock at right back, Mazzino at left back, Mertens and Semedo in the middle, Balters and Morale in central midfield, Council, Boyce and Stokic the attacking midfield three, and Ewan Davey up front. Youngsters such as Solly and McCrory on the bench, but there is that experience as we mentioned. Last season's skipper Peter McLaughlin there too. So let's just get into it. Can we get the result? Can we get the comeback? Or will it be Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final? A pretty defensive formation for the visitors. 4-1-4-1, Robert and Jones off the wings, who are naturally very attacking players. So I wouldn't be too fooled by that formation. We're going to ask the lads to pick up where they left off. We've got a few of the boys motivated. And hopefully as we head into the first half of the second leg here at the Mark White Arena, we will have a chance to make it to the final. Fingers crossed we're not out of it early. Well, half an hour on the clock. It's going just about as well as it can. It's a shame Liverpool are playing so much of a strong team. Normally in the Carabao Cup they'd be resting these types of players. And this is where we've been harmed in this series, I think. And it happened in the head coach as well. In the cup competitions, our opposition are playing such strong teams and it just wouldn't happen in real life. At least 2 or 3 of them would be resting players. But we're coming forward here with Balters. Morale's in the centre circle if he wants him. Good switch to Stokic who flicks on. But there's no one there. And it's back to the keeper. Oh my word, what's happened there? I have never seen a goal like that all year. It was passed back by the defender to the goalkeeper. He missed it. It hit the post. We've got to take another look at that. He missed it. It hit the post. And then it just sort of rolled in. Balters inside. Let's have a look at this again. Because I have absolutely no idea what's happened. Balters plays it back into Morale. It's a hopeful ball over. Stokic flicks on and there's no pressure. The player plays it back. The keeper ran past it. It hit the post, dribbled across the line and went in. And without having a shot on target, we're levelling a tie. Maybe that's the luck we needed. And at half time, we lead due to the most bizarre goal I think we've had in the series. Let me know if I'm wrong and if we've had a worse one out there this season, sorry. But I don't think we have. So the lads are listening keenly. We're going to do it for the fans. And most importantly, we've only conceded 1 shot on target. We've had our first one of the match now, but it is long after our goal. And that is certainly one of the most bizarre goals I've ever seen. We're past the hour mark. Liverpool are on the front foot. And at this point, it's just holding on, trying to get as close to the end as possible. As Casera comes down the right for the visitors. To the byline, cuts it back to Robert, back to Segan and Smith. Good block the first time, good block the second time. Balters gets it away and it remains 1-0. We are working so hard here as the free kick comes in and Mertens has a free header. The keeper came flying out and got nowhere near it. But unfortunately, the day was saved by Mertens missing. Is he the first choice keeper? He looks good. I don't know why he's done so badly today. Unfortunately, Council's having a bad game, so Ryan Lima on for him. And Ewan Davey, the 2 we've brought in, not good enough from the start. Seems like no one wants those positions. We're going to leave it at 2 for now with 15 minutes left. A few of the lads are looking nervous, so we're just going to demand a bit more and see if we can nick a winner from somewhere. Stokic is tired on the left wing, so he's going to be the next one off, although I don't really have a replacement out there. We've got rid of Balic and we didn't put White on the bench, but it might not matter because here come Liverpool into stoppage time, 4 minutes of it, and Roberto gives it to Alberto. Back into Robert. Oh, Boyce has nicked it. Boyce has nicked it and we've got a 4-on-3. Now we've got a 4-on-2. Lima's in. Can he make amends? He's had a poor season, but he's scored at the most crucial moment. Ryan Lima into the bottom corner. And with 91 minutes on the clock, Dorking lead 2-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. And that could be one of the biggest goals of the series. We're going to get the lads to time waste, be more disciplined, slow it down, everything under the sun. You all know how we work from here. Liverpool are chasing a winner and they've got themselves caught out. That is an incredible goal. We're going to drop the wingers to support duties. We're going to drop the fullbacks to defensive duties. We are going to do everything to hang on, because this could be the greatest transfer deadline day ever, because it could make us our second appearance at a cup final. We're also going to take off another player now, and I'm not sure who. Think maybe Stokic, but we don't have a left winger. Who can it possibly be? Jonton is coming on. He's going to replace Balters, I think. Boyce will go into the holding role. Balters' replacement, Jonton, will go into defensive midfield, and we are going to be as solid and resolute as possible. He can be box to box, or should we say Mazzala? Let's say Mazzala on support. And with 3 minutes of stoppage time to go, we could be heading for our second Wembley final with Dorking Wanderers. And there we go, we have done it. Ryan Lima, after a terrible season, has made amends at the end. It followed one of the most bizarre own goals you will ever see, but it doesn't matter how we did it. We've won 2-0, and we are through to the Carabao Cup final, where we will face Manchester United. They beat Arsenal 6-1 in the first leg. Yes, they got beat 1-0 in the second, but it's going to be a massive final for us. It's going to be a big game, but we've got an hour and a quarter of the transfer window now. So let's get back to focus. Transfers to go. Is it going to be Kieran McQueen leaving the club? Last transfer and action of the day surely, and probably the most impressive. Kieran McQueen has made 8 appearances in the Europa League 2. He's also made 1 Carabao Cup appearance. His 2-star ability came on a free at the start of this season and is now moving on for around £5 million, subject to league appearances, and we've got to sell on as well. Brilliant business and a good servant for us. We really appreciate his help. He was good for us in the Europa League 2, and he meant we could rest first teamers for the league. Everything has gone perfectly today. Let's just make sure there's no bumps in the road for the last hour. So confirmation, we will be facing Manchester United at Wembley. Not quite as simple as last time where we played Burnley, aside from the live stream. But unfortunately we lost that one. So now it's Man United. We just have to hope they're resting people. But as it is, the transfer deadline has now passed. We've still got the 5th lowest wage bill in the league, despite that big 2 signings on deadline day. And the second biggest transfer of the window is Ari Ensink, who joins us from Brighton as our new number 10. A brilliant window all round. 3 signings, 3 big players leaving, and a youth player as well. And we've recouped around half of the money we spent on Ensink, so that's all good. Stokic in for 4 million, he will be a super signing. Murillo for 1.7, we'll sell him on for a profit if nothing else. And the big gamble is Ari Ensink, who at £52 million is our second biggest ever signing after Morgan Morale. In terms of outs, Glover for 9 million, Ibai Nunes for 10.5, Ilya Balic for 6.25, and Kieran McQueen for 5 million. What a wonderful way to finish it was. And of course you know when we're going to be back. It is the Carabao Cup final at the start of March. If you are looking forward to it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. And if you enjoyed this one, let me know in the comments what you thought of the signings, what you thought of that own goal in particular. Probably the most bizarre we've ever seen. And if you think any of those new transfers can be superstars for the club, or any of the ones we let go potentially a big disaster, let me know what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. You'll get alerts as daily FM20 content releases from both of our long-term stories. We've also got our new series with Macclesfield, which continues this Saturday at 1 PM, and our weekly live streams are back next Tuesday at 10 AM, and that will continue every week to the release of FM21. Please do check out the podcast in the eye above as well. We've really had great fun with that recently, and it's growing at a brilliant rate as well. And a massive thanks for your support as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.